Speaking of Topdress, Dr. Brian Arnall joins us now to talk a little more. Brian, let's start with some of the sources.
Yeah, so right now we're really moving in. We're about to hit green up, weather's looking good. And so we want to consider our sources, our primary sources for nitrogen, urea, UAN. Those are the ones we're applying the liquid and the dry. Both are good, both have their challenges. So with either one, we don't really want to go out after a rain. If we can get them on before a rain, that's perfect timing. Both sources are equal there. After rain, when we still have some soil moisture, it's going to increase losses. In those times, we want to consider urease inhibitors if the soil's a little damp or we have some humidity, and then would be looking at a rain in the 7 to 10 day forecast. That's about how long they work. It's about a week. The other thing to consider is the one-pass herbicide nitrogen versus nitrogen alone. The one-pass system can be very effective, work quite well because you get some nitrogen with the herbicide and it makes that herbicide work a little bit better. However, there's some conditions that I would suggest not to use that. So to do a one-pass system, we have to use a flat fan, so a broadcast nozzle, which is putting small particles across the field. That works great if you're in a field like we are right now, where we have a lot of bare soil and we have a lot of plant, meaning the fertilizer will get either on the plant or the bare soil. The times it doesn't work well are in no-till fields where we have a lot of residue and small plants, because that nitrogen particle will land on the residue and have potential to get tied up and not available. So in those scenarios, I really recommend to move to a two-pass system where herbicide goes on in one pass and then fertilizer in a second pass. And in a no-till scenario specifically, I want to use streamer where we're concentrating those bands down and forcing that closer to the soil and through the residue.
So once that is figured out, how do you determine how much to put on?
So the much, we really want to look at soil tests. We want to look at yield goal. Where are we sitting at there? The 2 pounds of N per bushel. If you can be more efficient, you can lower that value down a little bit, get 1.7, 1.8 if you want to tweak that. But you really got to look at your yield goal. What's your historic yields? Do you have pre-plant down? Do you have soil tests to see how much residual you have? And build off of that, remembering about the 2 pounds of N per bushel. And of course the nitrogen-rich strip. If you have those out, those are an indication of when the plant needs nitrogen. And if it's not showing up right now, it doesn't need it right now. And then you can go onto our online calculator and put in the planting date and the NDVI, which you can get a green seeker from the county educators, and go to your county extension office and do that. I'd also say it's not too late. So it's already been mentioned, but it's not too late to put them out, and you could put them out without fertilizing right now. Just get a strip out there if you want to use a push spreader to apply it and just watch. Or if you're fertilizing right now, it's becoming a much more popular approach is a 3-pass nitrogen system where we have a little bit of pre-plant. We have some right now getting up to about what you'd expect is 50 to 60% of the total need. And then using an enriched strip for that late February, early March application to see if you need more or not. So it's an ability to put on some now, get 30 to 40 pounds in the system now, put out an enriched strip on top of that, and then look at late February to see if it needs more. Then you could use our online calculator and get that nitrogen rate. The crop's not growing right now, so we get some rains, it'll get it into the soil, and we have time to fertilize. A lot of our research is showing we can wait all the way to hollow stem or a little after without losing yield, so it gives us an opportunity still to put them out late.
We have a few weeks.
We have a few weeks.
Okay, Brian, good to see you. Thanks a lot.